Well, President Biden has signed a massive spending bill into law while vacationing in the U.S. Virgin Islands after pushing his administration's climate agenda. Just yesterday, the president tweeted about the existential threat posed by climate change. But just hours later, he had the omnibus bill flown to him for signature on a commercial flight from Washington. The $1.7 trillion bill, which is going to keep the government open through next September, has some eye-popping items courtesy of the American taxpayer. $65 million for restoration of Pacific salmon populations, $3 million for bee-friendly highways, $3.6 million for a hiking trail named after Michelle Obama. Oh, Kennedy, they love to spend money on silly things, don't they?
Yes, they absolutely do. And so everyone is now under the assumption that government will fix everything when really it's government causing all of the problems that we experience on a daily basis, from healthcare to housing and education. There's no sector that they can't screw up. And this is how they do it. They're also, as you know, going to make inflation much worse with more government spending. And I'm sorry, but museums shouldn't be funded by taxpayer dollars. A lot of these things can be funded. It's like, start a GoFundMe page. And by the way, Michelle Obama, she can foot the bill for a $3.6 million hiking trail, which is lovely. And the former First Lady certainly deserves it. Her family also enjoys a $70 million net worth, according to sources. So I really think that they can handle that tab.
I mean, look, this that 4,000 page bill, Lisa, they had to print it on paper. How climate friendly was that? I'm just throwing that out there. And somebody on Twitter wrote, is this satire? After Biden tweeted that this is all about the existential threat of climate change.
No, but it is a middle finger to all of us and to the taxpayer. I mean, that's what it is. They steal our money, light it on fire, and then ask for more money. That's essentially what they're doing. And then they just make the problem worse, as Kennedy pointed out. But regarding the climate stuff, if you think the government can change the weather, you are a fool. And we know that it's not about the weather. It's not about the climate. They said the ice age was coming in the 1970s. It didn't happen, as we talked about yesterday, or the other day. Everyone's supposed to be dead. We're not. And you can care about the environment. You can be a conservationist. I mean, you look at the state of Florida, like Governor DeSantis cares about the Everglades. We protect our environment there, but you don't have to destroy the economy, destroy the livelihoods of so many people in the process. And you look at what the Dutch government is doing. They're stealing farmland from the farmers in the name of nitrogen emissions. Do we actually think that's about the nitrogen emissions, or is it just about stealing the land?
Yeah,
and that's what this is all about.
Well, and also, too, you know why they flew it there was for the photo op for Instagram.
I wish they flew it Southwest.
For a photo op, Todd.
It would have never gotten there.
Exactly.
Well, the left.
Southwest.
Calling out Southwest, going to a flight segment.
Sorry, Todd.
Yeah, that's fine. No, look, the left doesn't care about the environment. They care about virtue signaling. If you've ever driven in late at night, which I do literally every single night because I come in here in the middle of the night, you see a couple things in environmentally friendly blue New York City. Every single light is still on, even though nobody's working at that time. And the trash that piles up in the streets contains your recycling, contains your regular trash, contains all those things. So if they really cared, they would have actually do something about it in their own city. They don't care. It's all virtue signaling. As for the items in the bill itself, Lisa knows from my time this weekend with her, my favorite provision in the bill is $3 million for hamsters fighting on steroids. You know, I'm addicted to this.
Hamster Fight Club.
Hamster Fight Club.
Hamster Fight Club.
Finally.
It's real. Finally, it's finally happened. And look, I'm not as opposed to the hamsters fighting on steroids as a dude. I think it's hysterical. Some people may attack me for being cruel, but what I'm upset about is the $3 million for it. Any dude can go on the streets of New York City, give hamsters some juice, and watch them beat the crap out of each other. The serious part of this is, you're working hard, probably on a holiday week, to raise money for your family, make money for your family. The federal government is taking your hard-earned money and putting it towards stuff like this. Imagine what you could do with that money for your family. That's what's sickening about this.
Yeah.
Isn't New York City just a fight club?
It is.
Pretty
the
much.
hamsters and the humans.
We don't even need the hamsters.
Right.
It's
You don't even
just
need the juice.
Anyways.
Yeah, cool.
Cheryl, the thing that bothers, first of all, there were some things in this package that I was okay with. They're doing away with some COVID Medicaid expansion that went on far too long, in my opinion. They've also increased resources to veterans at the VA hospitals, making sure that they have more access. They've also increased access to mental health services for a lot of teenagers and youth. That being said, in it also, you have and by the way, those numbers are nominal compared to some of the bigger ticket items, like the $45 billion being sent to secure Ukraine's borders. Yes, $38 billion was sent for the Americans for those who have just suffered from the natural disasters, from tornadoes to the storms and everything so forth. But $0 are actually going to our southwest border to ensure that our borders are secure. This despite the fact that approximately 85,000 Americans died this year of a fentanyl overdose. And we know exactly where the fentanyl comes from. It comes from our southwest border. So you can't talk about wanting to fight an opioid epidemic, which they do mention in the bill, without securing that border. As Todd said, it's virtue signaling, and it is a waste of hardworking taxpaying dollars.
All right. Final thought?
I love salmon, but it is not under the purview of the federal government to try and fix every problem. So, yeah, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. The government screwed it up. They made stupid fish ladders. Fish can't climb ladders.
What?
And they've made
Prove it.
every problem worse. They create problems, and then they steal your money, to Lisa's point, to fix them. I'll get my salmon.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
Give us our money back.
All right.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.